What was the real motive of the DC shooter, as if everyone doesn't know? Take a look at this clip over here with Chris Cuomo, totally eviscerating those that are playing this puzzled game that they have no idea where it comes from. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
We know the shooter is a far-left activist, caught on camera shouting "Free Palestine," and as he was arrested, he kept chanting the slogan and said, "I did it for Gaza." So why the F are all these people on the left saying "if true"? And if that's who he is, and if he's not an IDF plant, and you don't want any of the blame for what just happened on you? He is described as what he is. He said what he said. Stop asking why people who understand what we're up against, like Douglas Murray, caution Joe Rogan against his comic buddies bashing Israel for sport and to develop a following. Prosecutors allege this guy fired nearly 24 bullets in this attack because he wanted to kill as many as he could. And we know what's feeding the fire, right? Don't pretend to not know what this is about. The man has been conditioned to identify with the oppression in Gaza as if he's one of them, and there are so many like him here, in our families, on our campuses. Did he know one of his victims wasn't a Jew? I love how people are using that as it somehow mitigates what this was about. You know he didn't know, right? He was there to kill Jews, obviously. But imagine if you're right, and he did know that one of them was not Jewish. So now they're targeting not just Jews, but those who stand with Jews? Now, if it's not true, and I doubt it is, that he knew, it is certainly what Islamists instruct on the extreme side, here on American soil. Did he know that the two people he murdered were leaving an event that was about coordinating more aid to Gaza? Would it even matter when he's constantly told that Israel is starving as part of a genocide? And many feeding his broken brain are in America in positions of influence and power. And even though same people are now saying they're disgusted by this, even though it's the latest manifestation of their efforts. And they're saying they're against anti-Semitism, like the Squad and its putative leader, AOC. Absolutely nothing justifies the murder of innocents. Anti-Semitism is a threat to all we hold dear as a society. It must be confronted and rooted out everywhere. Did I miss the word Jews in there in terms of who was killed? Odd omission. Odd omissions. They're not just innocents. He just didn't go into a school and fire away. He was looking for Jews. You know, the people you say are conducting a genocide. Those people. Now, of course, AOC doesn't just say what I just read, right? Nor do her colleagues, right? And it's all those other signals and suggestions that foment what we saw here and on our campuses. And you can make the case. Hold it. You can make the case. Don't draw a moral equivalency between the murder of two and the murder of thousands. Okay. In Gaza. Okay. But what are you leaving out in that? I'll tell you what the parallel is. Okay. These murders were precipitated by hate of Jews, just like October 7th. And what's happening in Gaza is being done by the people who were targeted. And Hamas, not freedom fighters, terrorists, refused to disarm, refused to stop hiding among civilians, refused to stop stealing the aid for civilians, and refused to return who they stole. And these two victims did nothing to this guy who killed them, whereas the people in Gaza, many of whom don't support Hamas, but many who do, October 7th is on Hamas. And until they turn over their people and surrender, how can you draw a moral equivalence between what Israel is doing and what started that? You can say it's too much. Of course it is. You can say there should be more aid. Of course there should. But the nexus of all of it necessarily goes back to the terrorists who started it, who are still there, with the tacit if not open, respect and support of many people in this country. We have no idea how deep this problem goes here at home. Democrats, my brothers and sisters, I understand why you're worried about Trump. I understand why you call him an ultimate evil, but I don't agree. And if you want the ultimate evil, look at the Islamists, the extreme ones in America, not just Muslims. And mind your dogs who are doing their bidding. What am I talking about? Look online to the reaction. Americans calling a terrorist a hero again, saying he, like the healthcare CEO murderer, was justified in violence. It's the same thing I've heard in Iraq and Afghanistan, but now echoing from Indiana. This is not a one-off. It's just one more of what we choose to ignore.
Yes, Chris Cuomo hits the nail on the head, and those comments that he showed at the end are really disgusting. But I'm not entirely surprised, and nor should anybody be, because eventually, when people don't take responsibility for the things that they say, and people in public forums continue to perpetuate lies, lies have consequences. Lies have meaning, and lies have consequences. So, for example, when a lot of public figures, whether in the media or wherever, what are they saying, that Trump is Hitler and Trump is the worst, and that he's just ready to take our democracy down, and all of these things that are so extreme, so ridiculous. Is it surprising? It's terrible. But is it surprising that there are people that would attempt at taking him out? It's happened before, at least twice that I remember. It's obviously a horrible thing, but are we surprised that if you constantly hearing from people in public places, he's the worst, he's Hitler, that someone's not going to stand up and try to do what they would do to Hitler? And it's the same thing over here. If you keep publicizing and sharing this ridiculous claim that Israel is starving the people of Gaza, that Israel is genociding the people of Gaza, and all the other lies that we know are out there from very public figures, is it surprising that at some point some guy takes it to the next level and starts actually attempting violence? And then we get all everyone, oh my goodness, how could such a thing happen? That's terrible. I condemn it. You've been promoting that idea for quite some time right now. I think it's important for us all to take responsibility for the things that we say, especially those people that have large public platforms. I'm not calling for anyone to be silenced. I'm not calling for anyone to have their free speech taken away. But the problem is that we have to take personal responsibility. You have to take personal responsibility, especially if you have a big following. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comments below. And if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.